Today we're doing a brake fluid exchange on this 18 Tundra, but the cool part is there's going to be nobody in the cab pressing the brakes. I'm going to be able to do it all by myself. This is an electric brake fluid exchanger. It's going to use pressure and pulsing to get the fluid out of the master cylinder and put new fluid in. The thing that I'm ashamed to admit is this is the first brake fluid exchange I've done on the Tundra, because I'm kind of lazy and I just hate having someone in the truck to pump up the brakes while I'm down with the wrench. This is going to make it a lot easier. You're actually supposed to be doing this about every 20,000 miles, every 2 or 3 years or so. I want to check out this equipment to see how it works. Now this is where it all starts. This is going to be the hose that outputs fluid into the master cylinder, but you can't hook it up. There's no hose on there. So it's got some adapters. It's got a bunch of different adapters for all sorts of different cars. We're looking for Toyota on this one, which is number 6. And that is going to be right here. One of the things that's unique about a Toyota is it's just got a rubber cap. It doesn't screw on or anything like that. So I was curious, how are they going to have something pressurized in there that doesn't screw on? Well, this is what they came up with, this adapter. It's got the piece that unscrews here, and then it's got 2 halves of a locking ring. We'll put the O-rings down in there. It's got a good tight fit. And then I'll bring it up and then put the locking rings around this reservoir here. And that should lock it down right where we need it. I'm going to make sure it's seated all the way around. That feels pretty good. Now we're just going to screw this down and it should lock right into place here. Oh yeah, that looks really good. So now we're ready to go. This fitting right here is a quick connect that goes right into the tool. And the tool is 12 volt. So we can power it with a battery, just like a shop battery, or we can just use the car's battery, which is what we're going to do today. Let me get the 12 volt adapter and we'll just put this on the battery. All right. Let's do it backwards. Let's go ground first. See what happens. I heard a beep. All right, we've got, this is for pulsing and this is the time limit. And then we can change the pressure here, but let's get some brake fluid in there. Good thing to know about this tool is you're going to have all of your fresh new fluid in this container, and all of the old fluid is going to go out into waste containers at all 4 corners of the car. Let me show you those. All right, so we're just going to remove the rubber cap from the bleeder. 10 millimeter? Yes, it is. All right. We can just crack that loose. Now, if you live up north, these could be a little bit rusty. I'm going to have the container down below the bleeder, and it's already starting to gravity bleed, which is fine, but once we put pressure on it, it's going to come out a lot quicker. Okay, we're using DOT3 fluid. That's what Toyota recommends for the Tundra. Make sure you use whatever your manufacturer recommends for your car. We're going to pour it right into the new fluid container, and we're going to pretty much fill this thing up. We're going to push all the old fluid out of the car and into those collection containers, and all this new fluid is going to replace it. That's a good thing, because what we have is a little bit too old. This is going to be much better. All right, that looks pretty good. Put that aside. I'm just going to take this hose and drop it right into the container. Then we can turn it on. Now, we can set it for, looks like 15 minutes is the default. So we'll keep it there. And if we need to stop it or start it, we can do that. Let's see what happens here. Now our pressure is here. So far we have no pressure because the line, oh, it's just starting to prime now. There we go. Now we can increase the pressure if we want. Let's go check out the bleeders. I'm starting to hear some fluid moving here. Oh yeah, it's collecting pretty good in that jug. Let's check the back one, see if the backs are working. The cool thing about this system, this is just starting. The cool thing about it though is that we can do all 4 corners at the same time. And I like that. You can look at the line. I don't see any air coming out, so that's a good thing. Okay, it looks like the master cylinder is still full of fluid, but this is nice clean fluid. All of that old dirty stuff is getting pushed out into all the containers, and we can see how much we have pushed out by the new fluid container. Went down about halfway already, and we're only about 3 minutes in. Not too bad. We should be done here pretty soon. I just want to keep an eye on this container. I don't want to run out of fluid. That would cause air to be in the system, and that wouldn't be any good. So just keep an eye on that. We'll relax and be done with this thing in no time. All right, we're almost to the bottom here, so I'm going to go ahead and shut off the bleeders, and then we can shut off the pump. I'm going to leave the hose hooked to it just because I don't want to spill anything. And we'll finish up with this guy here. Looks like the rear brakes didn't have as much fluid come out, probably because they're smaller calipers and smaller bleeders, so that makes a lot of sense. And we can go ahead and hit stop. So we were at about 10 minutes, actually about 9 minutes. So what does this look like now? Let's get a light on that. It looks like our fluid is just below the max line, right where it's supposed to be. So that's cool. I think what I'll do, let's go ahead and just, let me grab a rag. I'm not sure if anything will come out, so we're gonna try. A little bit of pressure, and that's it. Nothing spills out, so that's nice and clean. So far, I'm liking everything about this whole procedure. Everything's clean. I haven't spilled anything all over the car, which is bad for the car, bad for the paint. Haven't spilled anything on me. This is a pretty clean setup. So let's get this off of here. Just unscrew it, and then we can pull those little 2 locks off of there, and that's it. Put the cap back on. You don't want to leave this uncapped for any amount of time. Any moisture that gets down in there is going to make your brake fluid a little bit acidic. That's what we're trying to get rid of, so keep that nice and capped off. Let's go have a look at the results here. I can unhook this guy. I'll bring it down, drain as much of that fluid into the container as we can, and that's it. There it goes. Easy peasy, nice and clean. I like it. Okay, one thing they want us to do is to purge the pump of all the brake fluid that we just put in there. Now this is the .3 that we used. We need to purge the lines in the pump. So let me read the instructions. We're going to figure out how to do that, and I'll show you that. I had to look at the cheat codes. I don't usually do that, but for this, I wanted to make sure I got it just right. So apparently, really all you got to do is pull the suction hose out of the new fluid reservoir and hold it up. Then we're going to take the pressure line that was on the brake master cylinder, and I'm just going to put it into one of these waste containers. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on there to open it up. I think it might have been, oh yeah, you can hear there's a little bit of pressure in there. Now it should be able to come out. So we got, this is pretty much dry now. There's just a little bit of residual brake fluid in there, but that pump is not full of pressurized brake fluid, so I'm happy with that. We're gonna get these hoses and cords sort of put away. So all we have left to do is to take some of this old nasty brake fluid, put it back in the container, and run it down to the recycling center, and this will be a job well done. As far as this tool goes, the pros are it's easy to use, it's mess free, and you don't need shop air. It runs off the car battery and it does a really good job. I was amazed how little I had to do. I just had to wait for it to be done. Now if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you have a lot of cars out in the driveway, 2-3 cars, you have a fleet, this might be worth it for you. It's a little bit pricey, but the amount you will save if you do your own brake fluid exchanges yourself and keep up with it every 2 or 3 years, it's going to pay for itself in no time. If you're a professional, it's a no-brainer. Get you one of these. This thing is awesome. Linked down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.